Zombies, technically, they don't speak, they don't do anything. They just are there eating human flesh. Where do you go from that as an actor? Where do you find the voice for R?
Well, first, you know, the one communication or attempt at communication they can have in this film is grunting. So the voice kind of came from that, where I'd just grunt and then try and formulate words from that. But having that thing whereby I can't remember a lot of words. He can't remember his own name.
Yeah.
Like the one word that he has at the beginning of the film, I think, is hungry, and that's it, which is a good word to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's that thing of if you haven't spoken for a long time, you kind of lose the muscle memory of it as well. So I was just kind of playing around with that a little bit, and then grunting, trying to formulate the right mouth shape, and then say it quick enough that people wouldn't fall asleep in the cinema before I've said a single word.
Was it more difficult for you to get the accent right because of that, or was it a little more easier?
Kind of easier, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were speaking clearly, then the accent kind of becomes people can hear if you do make any mistakes a lot clearer, I guess. But when you're kind of grumbling everything anyway, I could have probably been doing, you know, a Jamaican accent and no one would have realised.
Yeah, that's true. What are you? Are you a zombie fan, or did you just kind of take into this that this was a different kind of genre film for it?
I like zombie films. You know, I wasn't a massive zombie fan beforehand, but I enjoyed watching zombie films, and I enjoyed over the last few years watching how, you know, they developed from the 80s classics back up to like 28 Days Later and Zombieland and Shaun of the Dead and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was just a nice take. I thought, yeah, good idea from the zombies' point of view. You've got this funny lead character who's got a sense of humour and feels trapped, and you root for right from the beginning. You really want to succeed. And then a nice little romantic story in there with some good horror and action.
Well, I kept, you know, as I was watching it, I kept thinking, this is Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that going in, or did you kind of discover that as you were filming?
I picked it up when I was working on the accent one day with a friend, and we sat there, and then it was like, oh, Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, what? It'd kind of gone over my head at first, and then suddenly it all fell into place. I was like, oh yeah, there's even a balcony scene. It all makes sense.
That's the tip-off. Once you get to the balcony scene, you're like...
Yeah.
Working with Jonathan, who's done some amazing films in a fairly short career,
yeah.
What stood out for you most working with this filmmaker, this great filmmaker?
You know what the best thing about Jonathan is he's really energetic, enthusiastic, supportive, and just creates a really good atmosphere to work in. Particularly doing something like this, you know, it could, if you didn't feel comfortable and trust the person that you're working for, it could have gone horribly wrong. But with him, I was committed, dove in at the deep end, and yeah, it was a real treat to work with him.
You've got so much coming out, dude. This is only the start for you, with X-Men and Jack and all these great roles.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it now? Are you feeling the change?
Not really, no. I think it's just one of those things, you know, I've enjoyed making all this last run of films, this and The Giant Slayer and Mad Max, and looking forward to going back to do X-Men again, so it'll be, hopefully they all turn out well. You know, you never know when you're making a film what it's going to end up like, but on this one we had a lot of fun, and I think that kind of, you can see that when you're watching the film, I think.